Welcome to the Riding with the Raiders podcast. Hosting today's podcast, the Raider Regular, I'm Sara.
I'm Sydney.
I'm Raven.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Dean.
Today's topic is all about how students balance all they have to do, including school, work, social life, hobbies, and much more. We have brought in a few grade 11s and 12 students to share their point of view and hopefully give insight on how you can have this balance when opportunities pile up.
Here with us today, we have Sydney Dunmore.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I'm a grade 11 student here at Essex.
Give us an idea, Sydney, of what you would have to balance during the week.
So during the week, I have to balance things like my job at McDonald's, school, and homework that I might have, and then making time for friends and family.
Very good. What troubles, if any, have you run into?
Some problems I've had are trying to make sure I have time to study or do homework, like if I'm working late. For example, this one day I worked from 7 till 12 a.m. and I was super tired after school because it was a long day, so I didn't want to study for my test the next day. And I didn't have time after work because I just wanted to go to bed, which caused a problem.
In what ways did you adapt to create a better and balanced schedule?
Something I did to better my schedule was I spoke with my manager about not getting many late shifts during the week, and if I get a late shift close to a test, I'll try to give it away to someone else or trade for an earlier shift.
Very good idea. So, Sydney, what is your advice to incoming students from younger grades on how to have an attainable balance?
I would definitely tell them to try not to overload their work schedule with school and friends. I try to make sure I have loads of time to do homework while still being able to hang out with friends and family. At McDonald's, they only let students work 16-hour max a week, so they have time for school, and if you want to go over the 16 hours, that's your choice and responsibility. So you have to stay on track with work and school. I would also try to work less hours if you have a heavier semester and more hours with a lighter or easier semester.
Very interesting. Appreciate you being here. On to the next.
Next up, here we have Raven Whitaker, a grade 11 student. So we're going to start off with the first question, Raven. Give us an idea of what you have to balance during the week.
During the week I have to balance is my schoolwork and babysitting, and also balancing spending time with friends.
What troubles, if any, have you run into?
The troubles I've run into before was staying up late doing homework or studying for a test, or not having enough time to do homework because I was so tired for staying out too late or working too much, and also having troubles of finishing assignments or doing overdue assignments.
In what ways did you adapt to create a better balanced schedule?
I always talk to the parents that I work for and trying to work around my own schedule so I have time for myself and time for my schooling.
And what is your advice to incoming students from a younger grade on how to have an attainable balance?
My advice for younger students is to always put yourself first and not try to overload yourself, because it just causes more stress. And always talk to whoever you work for and try to work around your schedule and try to make your work schedule flexible when you have time for yourself, for schoolwork, and for other activities.
Thank you for being here today, Raven.
Next up, we have a grade 11 student, Nathan Smith.
Hey, what's up?
Nathan, give us an idea of what you have to balance during the week.
So I go to school 5 days a week, which involves doing homework and studying. And I also participate in school sports, which right now is baseball, which is weekdays, games, and practices. Also, I play on a travel baseball team, which involves games and practices also throughout the week. And I also work on weekends right now.
What troubles, if any, have you ran into?
Some troubles I have are finding time to study for tests and quizzes, because on weekdays after practices and games, I am tired and not motivated to study.
In what way did you adapt to create a better and balanced schedule?
I try to study at least one day before the test or quizzes. I also try to study or do homework before games or practices if I have the time to.
Last question. What is your advice to incoming students from younger grades how to have an attainable balance?
Advice I would give to younger students to have an attainable balance would be to try and have a good work/school balance and not working too many hours during the weekdays. Another piece of advice I would give to younger students to have an attainable balance is to not overwork yourself and make sure you're still having fun with your friends and spend time with your family.
Thank you for your time, Nathan. We have just about a few students to talk to.
So here we have Landon Spitaleri as our final student today. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Landon. I like sports, hockey. Some of my hobbies are I like to go dirt biking and four-wheeling with my buddies. And yeah,
What grade are you in?
grade 11.
Okay, so could you give us an idea of what you have to balance during the week?
I gotta balance like time with my family, my friends, like sports obviously, and like my work and schoolwork, homework, and yeah.
So sports and like that stuff like every day?
Yeah, maybe not a sports as much, like maybe every other day or every like 2 days, but yeah, homework and work usually takes up a lot of my time.
So with like all this stuff that you actually have to do, like is there any troubles that you run into?
Yeah, I usually stay up pretty late and pretty tired. So that really like affects me at school because I'm always tired.
Stay up late doing homework.
Yeah.
And in what ways did you adapt to like try and create a better balance schedule, maybe to get more sleep?
I got my priorities like better, I guess you could say. Like I won't go out with friends as much. I like work, come home, do my homework, and like go to bed.
So how did you still stay like with your friends? Like maybe waiting till the weekend to do those things?
Yeah, so I'd like wait till the weekend or like I'd pick a certain day during the week to hang out with my friends or my buddies.
And last question, do you have any advice to incoming students from younger grades on how to have like an attainable balance?
To have fun, don't like set a day plan. Like kind of just roll with it. That's like always worked for me. I think I just feel like it's better that way.
Perfect, and that's a wrap. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, here we have with us is Holly Baker, a grade 12 student. So we're going to start off with the first question. Give us an idea of what you have to balance during the week.
I have to work probably 4 or 5 times a week, and I got soccer practice every day other than Friday for 2 hours. And then I have all my homework, like data management and all that fun stuff.
And what troubles, if any, have you run into while trying to balance all these things?
Not being able to study for tests and not having time to do my homework, so I really fall behind.
And in what ways did you adapt to create a better balanced schedule?
Did I do that? I haven't figured that one out yet, if I'm going to be honest.
Okay, that's good to know. So you're still working on it.
Yes, I am, for sure.
So do you have any ideas of what you want to...
Maybe try and balance everything out a little bit more and maybe do some more stuff on the weekends because I do tend not to do my homework on the weekends.
Oh, so no procrastination.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
So what's your advice to incoming students from younger grades, maybe grade 9, working up on how to have an attainable balance?
Stay on top.
Stay on task, don't leave stuff to the last minute.
Yes, always
Perfect.
stay on top.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, last up here we have is Chloe Dibley. She is also in grade 12. So Chloe, let's start off with giving us an idea of how you balance everything during the week and what you have to balance.
Well, I have soccer practice every single night after school, and then I have games usually on like Thursdays and Tuesdays, and then I work around 3 to 4 times a week. I also babysit like on Sundays usually, sometimes Wednesday nights. It is pretty difficult, but I don't know, I just get it done.
Where are you working at?
High school treats in Essex.
Oh, nice. Was those after school hours?
Yes, yeah, 3 to 9 usually.
And what troubles, if any, have you run into while trying to balance all these things? I know you do a lot. It seems like a little chaotic.
Well, I try and talk to my friends a lot so they can help me with my stress.
So, wow, it seems like you have a lot to balance during the week. So, with all those things, do you run into troubles? Like, can you explain those for us?
Yeah, I do. It can be really stressful, but I just try and get everything done as soon as I possibly can, and
So, like, trying to use your time wisely, like...
Yeah, I don't, like, procrastinate. I try my hardest not to.
So, like, even in free time and stuff, like, not just, like, sitting on your phone?
Yeah, like, I get it done as soon as I can.
Right. So, like, that's the first thing. Like, would you suggest, like, maybe making to-do lists, schedules? Like, do you participate in any of those?
Really, actually, I do have this app on my phone. It's a Google Calendar, and I just, like, write down everything that I have to do, and that really helps me, like, prioritize my
And
time.
remember to
Yeah,
get
and
everything
remember.
done.
Like, it
Right.
gives me, alerts and everything.
Perfect. So, in what ways did you create a better balanced schedule? I know you said Google Calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think writing stuff down, or do you think even just having it on your phone is the best
Honestly,
way?
I try and involve myself with a good group of friends, and they are very supportive and they help me out. Especially Holly Baker. She's one of my closest friends. Yeah.
So, like, having her there, like, she, like, will motivate you to get stuff done if she sees, like...
She's a great influence on me. Like, she, like, honest to God, she's there for me, like, 24/7. Like, I call her up, and, yeah, she's there.
And do you feel she's the same for, like, you're the same for her?
I think I am. I think she would say I am
100%.
as well. Yeah.
So, like, having each other is, like, a really good, like, booster, motivation, honestly.
For sure.
100%. Wow, okay, I need to get someone like that.
Yes.
So, last question. What is your advice to incoming students from younger grades? Like, how to keep this balance, have an attainable balance? Because I know younger grades do not have jobs yet, or maybe they're just starting to get them. So, what is your advice?
Honestly, I would say get a job as soon as you possibly can, because it honestly helps when you have money and you just can support yourself and you don't have to rely on other people. So yeah, definitely get a job as soon as you can, and just try and stay organized as much as you can.
Organized. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time
no
today.
problem.
All right, here we have Miss Lindsay with us.
Hi guys, my name's Miss Lindsay and I am the Student Success Teacher at Essex District High School.
So today we're going to be asking you a few questions. So what struggles do you see in students who need extra help?
Often I see the struggles of maybe not having good time management, not having good organization, and not having perseverance, like keeping trying and keeping working at it until you work it out.
What do you have to balance on a daily work schedule?
Can you explain that to me a little bit? I'm not sure what you're asking.
So what do you have to do on a daily basis for your job?
Okay, so I start the day off in co-op, so catching up with my co-op kids, making sure they're handing in all their assignments, work logs, and reflections. Then I move into my student success position, which I am basically catching up on requests for tutors, and I check out the kids that are doing well in their courses and then make sure that they have help. And I organize tutorial Wednesdays, and I organize the tutorial lists and the kids and recruiting of tutors. Those are some of the things I do in a day.
What advice would you give a student that is trying to balance work and schooling?
My advice would be this: don't work too much. Having money is nice, definitely, but not at the cost of your grades and your social life, because you can't go back and you have the rest of your life to work. So this is the time to be a kid, have fun, play sports, be on clubs, be on teams, enjoy your life. Because when you really have to work and pay bills for your house and your children, there's no time for that fun stuff.
So you're saying, like, if someone were to, like, really want to try out for a sports team, but they think they can't handle it with their schedule, like, you say just go for it.
I say go for it, and then at the end, if you need to make sacrifices, you'll know what to sacrifice. Because if you love it, then you'll know maybe I just need to trim back on my work schedule and work weekends only or something along those lines.
Are there any to-do lists or schedules that you would recommend for students to use throughout the year?
To be totally honest, I think every kid should have an agenda. I think you should write everything down because it's easy to forget things, and it's easy to write it down and then not recognize it. So, for example, if your agenda has on it a month at a glance, way better than a week, because if it's a month, then you can see things that are due within that month rather than until you turn the page of the week and then you're like, oh my God, I have a project due on Friday. Should have started this ages ago. So definitely an agenda. Definitely believe in different colored pens and highlighters because your brain loves color and will remember color better. And definitely am a huge supporter of asking for help when you need help.
It's like not being shy, like reaching out, like you're not bothering anyone.
Exactly. That's why we're here, man.
And then our final question is, how do you think students should maintain a positive attitude with everything they have to do?
One thing at a time. Nobody can do 16 things at the same time, so don't try. Chip one thing off your list at a time. And that's all you can do. You can't think of it as the big picture. You got to think of it as a bunch of little pictures And every time you're done, you chop it off and move on to the next.
All right, thank you, Miss.
You're welcome.
Hi, guys. I will now interview Mr. Erner. So, Mr. Erner, what struggles do you see in students who need extra help?
Many students who need extra help are having trouble balancing their job, their extracurriculars, and their schoolwork after having a couple years where they really haven't done a lot of schoolwork.
What do you have to balance on a daily work schedule?
Well, I've got to balance making dinner, feeding the cats, getting to and from work, marking, lesson prep, sending work out to all the students who didn't make it today because of COVID. You know, the usual stuff.
What advice would you give to a student that is trying to balance work and schooling?
Well, first thing I'd do is if you're working more than 20 hours a week, give up a few hours. Until you have some time, you can't keep up the schoolwork. And I know you're trying to save for college or university, but if the marks aren't there, you're not getting in.
Is there a to-do list or schedules that you recommend for students to use throughout the year?
Well, the most important thing is you have to make a decision every day to do the schoolwork. You can't make one big decision. It's a whole bunch of little things. Every day, do your work. Every day, do your work. Just like for me. Every day, do your lesson prep, do your marking, do your attendance, do all the little stuff every day.
Last question, sir. How do you think students should maintain a positive attitude with everything they have to do?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think the most important thing is to recognize what you can and cannot do, and the things that you can't do, don't stress over them. Just focus on things you can do yourself.
So being realistic with like what you can and can't get done with your time that you have.
Absolutely. But part of that is if you're not sure what is realistic, ask someone to help you balance it.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks for your time, sir.
You're welcome. Have fun.
And that's a wrap, everyone. Thank you for your time.